Hello, my name is Joel. I'll be your instructor for History of Design. I'd like to welcome you to the class and get you started. So what's going to happen? This is an online course, and you're kind of free to do it each week as you will. I'm going to record 2 lectures a week. I will release one on Sunday and I'll release one on Wednesday. And those are just like tricks, tips, hints to get you through the course. I'll go through things if you're a better want to hear about it and see me do some of it. That's what I'm here to do. And I want to help you as much as I can. And I am here for you 100% of the way. So with that said, let's just dive in and start doing some stuff. I'm going to walk you through Blackboard. I'm going to try to do it quickly. Always takes up way too much time. I want to do it quickly. I think you know how to use Blackboard, but you may not have seen a setup just like mine. So let's jump in and let's do it. So at the top, I hope there's the normal things to see. We have the content. That's normally where you'll be. There's a calendar. All of my assignments will pop up in the calendar for due dates and whatnot. So if you go down, you can see that there are due dates for assignments right here. If you do choose to use the calendar, and the calendar should populate with everything else. Announcements, these go out if I want to contact everybody in the class. They go out. There'll be an announcement. You got an announcement already. Discussions are just another area to get into the working area for some of the assignments. You have your grade book, which is just going to populate as we go, and your grades. So let's talk about your grades. I stay on top of grading. You'll never have to really wait more than a day or two. I'm very much about like, get your grades. You know what your grade is. You'll always know what your final grade is. You're never going to be like, oh, what's my grade? You're always going to know. I'm going to keep it up to date. There's never like, he didn't grade this project for like 3 weeks. No, I don't want to leave it sitting, and you don't want it sitting. And most of my assignments, you need to get it done to do the next part of it. So messages, good way to contact me. And we'll talk about more about that later, but this is a good way to just send me a message, and you don't need to know about analytics and groups, do you? I don't know. I'm going to kind of go in this in reverse as it gets more exciting. Help and resources, click on these if you need to know them. There's a lot of like MATC student support. If anything happens to you, you have trouble with this, you have troubles with that, look at the student support. MATC is all about supporting the student and having you get as much help as you can to complete your college goals with as little, problems as possible. They are there to help. Look at them, use them. Food pantries, fast fund, like emergency grants in case something happens. You can get a fast fund emergency grant. Like say somebody broke into your car and stole your laptop. Like that's what that's for. Like they will help and support you. So check out the resources. There's so many different resources from health to human services, like everything. So check it out. Syllabus, grading, and course outline. Oh, more boring stuff. All right, syllabus. This is the syllabus. This is kind of 100% based off of what MATC tells me that I need to put in my syllabus. All the information is there. This is kind of like the contract. And if you at any point are like, I didn't know this about the class, and they're going to check the syllabus first. So read through the syllabus. Know everything about the syllabus. You don't have to know it, but I mean, like, if you're questioning something, go to the syllabus, I guess, about how the course is run. It's up to you. Or ask me questions. Just ask me, and then there may be things I have to point to about it. This is projects and grading. This is our setup. This is how we're going to run. You're going to have 2 big projects, A and B. You're going to have 14 chapter designs. You're going to have 2 media reviews. Media reviews is you're going to watch 2 documentaries. And then you're going to have some graphic design quick challenges. These are just quizzes. These are so simple. These are quizzes only about graphic design. They're like one word, like what does CMYK mean? And the only reason I'm doing this is you got to know these things to be able to speak the language of graphic design. They're all really easy. literally when you see them, it should take you about 5 minutes of your time. But it's just one of those things, like the more you can kind of like do it, the better you are, the better you can talk about your stuff. Here's how I grade. These are the percentages. This is the school percentages. Oh, you know what? This may have changed. It's more on your side now. And then this is what we do each week. So each week is 4 projects. It's a chapter, a part of a big project, and then either a quick quiz, a media review, or there's going to be an overlap of part A and part B for your projects just to spread things out. And that's how each week's going to run. The rubric and grading. So all my assignments are very like step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Follow the steps. If you follow the steps and like hit every goal, I'm trying to leave the design up to you, but have everything up to that point be very scripted so you know. And then it's just like getting an assignment in the real world. If somebody were to say like, hey, we have a magazine ad that we're running in this magazine, blah, blah, I would get all the same information. How big, bleed, like all this information would come to me that I'd have to set up first, and then I would design into it. And then that's the creative part. So just kind of like when you do the assignments, that's what I'm looking at. Like, so for example, craft 3 sketches utilizing only 2 sans serif letters. Well, I'm going to look. Did you generate 3 sketches? Did you employ sans serif fonts? Has the student adhered to the use of only 2 letters? You know, like stuff like that. Did you do exactly what I said? That's what we're talking about. Then it comes on. Like I will, you know what? A is excellent, B is above average, and C is average. Where are you coming in at this? So this is where you kind of knock it out of the park. Where I start to look at the design work and I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like you did everything. If you do everything, we're starting at C, like awesome. And then your design work, oh boy, that's better. You know, like, oh, you're learning, you're changing, you're doing. So if you do everything as told, you get a C, and then you get up. Discussions are 12% of your grade when there is a discussion for the assignment. I want you to check out 2 students' work. This is online, but you should be seeing what other people are doing. And I want to say this in a fun way. You should be getting nervous if you see people's work. You're like, oh my God, they're really good. You got to step up your game. That's your competition. You need to see what other people are doing, and then maybe even talk to them. Hey, I love what you did there. How did you do that? You know, like get some feedback besides just from me. If you see people working really good, get to know them. Get to do that. Late assignments. Assignments have a due date. It's always on Sunday at midnight for this online class. Sunday at midnight. Sunday at 12:01, it's late. And it gets a full grade reduction. The 12% is a full grade. So instead of an A, you're starting at a B. So then I start. That's where we start. You know, so if I say C is average, you're starting at a D. And then we move up. And I don't accept any assignments 7 days after the due date. Too far gone. If you were working in the real world, you would have lost the job. You would have lost the client. There's, like this is real world stuff. Like you're just like, oh, I'll get it done when I get it done. No, sorry. We moved on. You're in the dust. If that's, if you want to do and learn graphic design that way, I'd just learn from YouTube. The reason why we have due dates is it keeps you on task. It keeps you learning. It keeps you moving forward. Otherwise, yeah, just, there's other ways to learn where there's nobody cares about when your assignments are turned in. I care. I want to move on. I want to keep you learning. I want to keep you designing. This is about designing and learning about history of design. So that's the rubric. So that's cool. Blackboard overview. I don't even know why I keep this in here. We have the weekly lessons, sessions, discussions, grade, and syllabus. We already talked about 90% of that stuff. How to reach me. This is very important. Please contact me no matter what. If you have a question, comments, concerns, hey, I want to know how to do this. Hey, how do you do this? Hey, I don't understand that. Hey, whatever it is, there's 5 ways to get a hold of me. 1, assignment-specific discussion boards, and the mid-session reviews. I have a special discussion board in there for you to show me your work before you turn it in, so I can go through and be like, hey, why don't you update this? Why don't you change this? Why don't you move this over here? And you do that, I'll be like, this is gonna be an A. Why not reach out to me? You can email me, just like right there. Hey Scott, I can't make this any bigger. Oh wait, I can. Email me. Virtual office hours. When are your virtual office hours? Monday through Friday, all day. I don't have a specific time. Just contact me. You send me an email, I'll be like, hey Joel, can we meet virtually? And I'll get back to you the second I can and be like, yeah, when? So always know I'm gonna get back to you and be like, yeah, what works for you? I'm available. If I'm not, 9 to 5 or 9 to 4 every day, Monday through Friday, I'm around. I'll even meet with you on weekends if you can't meet. I'll meet with you at night if you can't meet. It gets a little dicier, I got a kid who does some things and, I might be at a practice or something, but whatever, contact me. I want to help. GChat, it's on the side of the email, you can GChat me, that works, or you can call me and text me directly. Here's the one, let me know who you are, in what class. Don't just text me and be like, I have a question about the assignment, because I'm gonna write back, who are you and what assignment, what class are you in and what assignment are you talking about? You gotta be like, hey, this is Joel from history class, and I have a question about the chapter 1 assignment. And I'll be like, all right, cool. What's your question about the chapter 1 assignment? And then we can get that going. So 5 ways to contact me. Please contact me. I want to help. I'm here to help. If you have any questions, I want you to succeed. I'm so excited for you to succeed. It's gonna be great. Just so you know, time expectations through any college, anywhere, is based on a certain amount of hours. So a 3-credit course, you're doing a 3-credit course in 8 weeks instead of 16 weeks. So expect to spend some time on it. So you're gonna get lectures that will equal between 1 to 3 hours of your week. Today, like I said, will be a little bit longer. It's because I got to run through this stuff that I'm going through as fast as I can right now. Usually they'll be about 45 minutes each. I try to keep them tight because I know people wander. I understand the algorithms. So yes. So Sunday and Wednesday, you get this. Then homework, 12 to 16 hours per week. So don't think that you're going to do it all on Sunday. I'm going to get up Sunday morning and knock all these out. I mean, you can. Expect to turn in crappy work, if I may just say so. If you, I'm just going to rush in and yeah, crap in gets crap out. So spend some time on it, so expect to spend about 16 hours a week for just this course. And like I said, spread it out over the whole week. I can't state that enough. Do one assignment here. Knock out that little 10-question quiz. Just do that right away. And you'll be like, at least I got one thing done already. And you feel good. And then do a chapter. And then maybe go to the bigger assignment and be like, I'm going to start perusing and just write down 3 things I want to work on. So take it in stride. Don't pretend you're in high school and you're like, oh, I do everything the night before. Good luck. Good luck. We left high school. In your 3rd semester, right? I think most of you are 3rd semester. So that's that. I showed you the grading rubric. I just have that in there twice. Let's check out session 1. All right. So session 1, welcome. The invention of writing and printing comes to Europe. So this is 2 chapters that you're going to be covering, 1 and 2, in a larger project. But I'm going to step through these one by one. Actually, I'm going to split. I'm going to split some stuff up. I'll do part today and then part on Wednesday. I just want to get you rolling through stuff. So every session, you're going to see this important project checklist, things you should know about, things that make professional designers professional designers. check it over. These are the things. And if you hear me be like, oh, okay, make sure you do this, I'll be like, did you look at that thing? It clearly says don't do this. So all these things, and I can check these so quick. So did you make sure your document has proper bleed? We're going to work on bleed this course. Did you use your margins? Are you using the margins? Spelling errors. Did you know that every program in Adobe has a spell check? Look for it. Spell check. Don't leave overset text. Like, know how your text is ending, and that's it. InDesign Illustrator, like, did you have stuff? Did it stop quick? Where's your rest of your text? Never, ever stretch or squeeze images. Never, ever stretch or squeeze text. No center body copy. You know the body copy? So when I say a paragraph of text, we are no longer doing center align for that. That is high school design. You're a professional now. We do left. You can center a headline, but not the body copy. No bold body copy. Who are you yelling at? Why has it got to be bold? Just do a nice font. So like no bold body copy. No hyphens. Every program has a way to remove the hyphens automatically. Hyphens make things harder to read. Make sure to scan your work. Make sure there are no widows. That does not say windows. That says widows. A widow is a single word at the bottom of a paragraph that's just sitting all by itself. They're horrible, and it's like a thing you should learn never to do. You just go in and you hit a couple of returns and you fix it up. I'm huge on that because everybody does it. And it's just like, why is that one word at the end of the sentence, at the end of the paragraph sitting by itself? Don't put your text into a text box and have it touching the edges. This is tension. This is too tight. Make sure you're using white space in your design. No body copy. That's all caps. Again, why are you yelling at me? You don't have to yell at me. You don't have to yell at me. We're smart people. Don't use more than 3 typefaces. It's not the circus. They're not trying to, crazy circus, 17 fonts. Every word is different. No, we don't need to do that. Your body copy generally should be between 9 and 12 point. I may say sometimes bigger. I may say sometimes smaller, depending on your design. But go, what fits the space? Is there room around? So it's not too tensiony. Format consistently. All headers, subheaders, and body copy should be the same. Don't make sure your text is easy to read, low contrast. Make sure you use proper leading and paragraph breaks. If you have like 2 paragraphs and they run together and they look like one giant paragraph, then why do you have 2 paragraphs? You have to learn to start typesetting so people can read your information. You are an information visual developer. So you are telling people, this is how I want you to read stuff. And if it's just a big jumbled mess, you're not instructing people how you want them to read them. Hierarchy, as this is not everything in the design is the same as important as everything else in the design. You have to use some design hierarchy. We'll work on that. Titles should be bigger than body copy. Like which image is more important than the other images. We'll get into the saving your PDFs and making sure your PDFs are correct and stuff like that. So I'm going to check this over. I check this over for every assignment. I have like this memorized, and it's all the stuff you'll hear about from me. Week 1, mid-session project review. This is uploaded. You get it done ahead of time. Like don't do it like Sunday at 5 and be like, I uploaded it Sunday at 5 o'clock to the mid-session review for you to look at. I'd be like, yeah, that was too late. Like I don't work every day of the week. I may check Saturday mornings, Sunday morning. Don't expect me to be checking your work like minutes before you want to hand it in. Again, that's that thing. Like you get the design done, turn it into me, and I'll look at it within 24 hours. Like I check almost every morning, and then I'll get back to you, be like, just change this, move this here, blah, blah, blah. You do that, and then you turn it, and I'll be like, and then turn it in, and then you're done. Like you kind of like, there's no going back. You're not going to hear like after the fact of like, oh, I wish I would have known I should have fixed that. Like this is the way to know to fix it. So now we're done with that. I'm going to jump down to like an easy one. Graphic design, quick challenge, session 1. Click on it, start attempt 1, 10 quiz questions about graphic design in general. Use whatever means possible to answer the question. I think like 90% of the questions you will know automatically and laugh and be like, oh, that was easy, that was easy, that was easy. And if you don't know it, just look it up. Just look it up. Go on the internet, use your phone, ask Jeeves, that's an old joke. Ask Gemini, what's the answer to this question? Let's find out. Because you're going to know it then you know the answer, you know? But it's stuff you should know. And it literally, there's 10 questions. It should take you 5 minutes. You should be able to do a question every 30 seconds. It's like basically you read what, like literally like one of the questions is, what does CMYK stand for? And it's multiple choice. And you just read through them and be like, it's this one. Done. So take care of that. Knock that out right away. Just get it done. Then you feel proud. Like use that as your stepping stone. Now, as I said, now that leaves with these little groupings. I don't think I can add a line or anything, but it's like invention of writing, printing comes to Europe, and then Project A, research and chapters. Today, I'm going to go over this, and then I'll leave printing comes to Europe for Wednesday. Just again, so we're not going all day. Now, what I'd like you to do is you can open this PDF. You zoom in and you sit down and peruse it. I say peruse because I am not looking for you to memorize this, but what I want you to do is just like read it. Read it fairly quickly. Just like kind of like, oh, yeah, reading about the developability of food. All right, cool. I didn't know that. Oh, all right. Kind of go through it. There's 19 pages. There's a lot of pictures. So don't be like, oh my God, it was like 30. Like one page is all pictures. One page only has 4 paragraphs. So it's not going to overwhelm you. Just kind of read through it. And then when you're reading through it, you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. You're going to pick out the thing that jumped out to you most. You, not me. I'm not picking for you. It's only 17 pages. You know, the thing that jumped out to you in here. And you're going to do a design about it. So you're gonna go through and you're like, okay, you know, and you're like, you may use cuneiform or hieroglyphs or, you know, cave paintings, or, you know, any of it, you know, there's only a few subjects. And then you're gonna go to here. Now I'm gonna walk through this with you and I'm gonna set it up with you as well. I'm gonna make this half the size. And I hope everybody can see. So what you are going to do is each assignment is going to generally flip-flop between Illustrator and InDesign. We always need to practice both programs. You got to know how to do both setups equally as well in the design field. There used to be a time, and I'm stopping students from being able to say this, is, oh, I'm not really good at InDesign because I didn't use it much. You use it, you're going to be using it just as much as you use Illustrator, and they should work hand in hand, and you should know them both equally as well. You know, equally, not as well. As well? I guess that's the way to say it. All right, so you're going to pick your favorite subject matter from the book, and you're going to create a little design piece. And the design piece will need to include the title, like for instance, I may do cave paintings, a 100-word paragraph about your chosen subject matter, cite the source. So beyond, say if you did cave painting, pick out something specific and then Google it. And find an article that has some images or whatever, and I'll talk about the images and stuff, and get a paragraph from, you know, the Smithsonian, whatever, you know, like find something and then cite the source. I want 5 new period correct images. So not images like I've had too many, students that just take the ones out of the book. I'm like, no, I've already seen the ones in the book. I want to see a new one. And a little background on the design. Let me make this look nice. I always have the do not do's. Always double check that. The do not do's are almost exactly the same as the, project checklist thing. So just to go over this again, the design must include a title, a 100-word paragraph about the chosen subject matter and a cite of the source, 5 new period correct images. Also, I say period correct because later on you'll be doing some work and we get confused by someone who did a modern version of an old piece. And I'll be like, oh, that was created last week. That ain't from the time. So, and the background, because we're designers. We're not just blank page layer outers. So there we are. Now, let's set this up. Some of you, if you've had me before, you may have seen this. If you haven't had me before, you're going to see this. I want you to follow it all. This is how professionals set up their documents. Why? Because you're learning how to be a professional. Once you start doing this, it becomes second nature, and you'll be able to roll with it a little bit more. But I'm going to take you through it, and let's do this. So this is Adobe Illustrator. As it says, open the document in Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to click on New File. I'm going to go to Print, all right, up there at the top. And then I'm going to go over and I want to create a print document that is 7 inches wide by 5 inches tall. So I'm going to go from points to inches. And what did I say? The width? Let's do type in a number 7. And then the height is 5 inches tall. All right, don't go yet. Set a bleed of 0.25 inches, quarter inch. Bleed is right here. Now, all I have to do is type in 0.25. And if I click to the side, it populates all those other ones. One and done. How rad is that? The document setup is now done. I'm going to hit create. There I have it. Look at that. All right. So I'm going to go to layers, right? And I'm going to name this layer margin. Now, I'm going to set up a margin for the document, and I'm going to show you some rad stuff along the way. I name the layer margin. Now I'm going to draw a box that is 6.5 by 4.5 wide with no fill and a 1-point magenta stroke. All right, so I'm just going to blibble blabble. Then I'm going to go to properties. Right there, 6.5. See, like, why even fight and struggle? 6.5. 4.5. Fill, what did I say? A no fill. Stroke is a magenta. And it's 1 point. Now, center the box perfectly on the artboard. A billion ways to do this, but my favorite way to do it is just simply click here and click here. And it perfectly centers it. Now, I'm going to turn on the ruler. How do I turn on the ruler? Well, it's Command or Control R. And it didn't pop up. There it is. I was clicked over. So there's my ruler. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a guide to split this in half twice. But I don't even think. So to pull a guide, I'm going to click and drag from this ruler. And I hope you can see that. I'm going to pull across. And when it locks, see that? See that magenta? Bonk, bonk. I move it about halfway, and it's like, hey, that's a center mark. I'm going to let go. And I'm going to pull from the top and do the same. Wonk, wonk. See that magenta? Boom, I'll let go. Snapping. That's called the snap to grid. That is so great. I love it. Now I'm going to go back to the layers panel. And I'm going to go to the hamburger menu. The hamburger menu is this little three lines there. You know why it's called a hamburger menu? Bun, meat, bun. I don't know who invented it, named it that, but that's why it's called a hamburger menu. And I'm going to go to the one that says template. All right? Boom. Template. It changes the icon to this square and it locks it. Now, what does this do for you? that margin that you drew or anything that you ever draw on a margin layer will never show up in the print or the PDF. It's hidden. It's just for you. So it's a reference just for you when you're designing, but it doesn't show up anywhere else. That's the beauty of it. I love using margins. I use them all the time. Or not margin, but templates. Like I'll set up some things and it just has like maybe a weird grid or some triangles that like, I want things to be like this. And I'll do that and I'll template it and it can stay on there and nobody sees it but me, the designer. So we have that set up. Now the margin, what's the margin for, Joel? Let me tell you what the margin is for. Nothing important should ever go beyond the margin. No text, important part of images, titles. This margin is made as a safety barrier. Every design that you will be assigned to as a professional will always have a margin included because you may not know how they're using. Is it going to be in a magazine? Is it going to be a poster? Is it going to be, there's all these variables. This is your variable escape route. If you put text too close or beyond the margin and something happens in the print process and they cut off like the beginning of letters, they're going to be like, well, you put it past the margin. That's why we do a margin. So you use the margin. The margin is anything beyond the margin is like, this is like the safety zone. Like nothing can go beyond that. Background stuff, absolutely. But important information should never go beyond the margin. That's why you do it. All right, create a crop marks layer. I'm gonna hit the plus. I'm gonna double click. I'm gonna call it crop marks as we should label our layers. I'm gonna draw a box the size of the artboard. Now here again, we're just using that click in. Pow, pow. I didn't do it right. Let's get it exact. Undo. I have to tell you guys something. I have my cursors set really big so you guys can see it, and it makes it really hard to work with. So sometimes I actually mess up. So there we are, crop marks. I got a box. I'm gonna go to properties, and I can make sure it's centered. It is 7x5. That's just my size of the document. Now it's gonna have no fill and what? No stroke. It's invisible. All right, no fill, no stroke. And then I'm gonna go to this FX button, and the third one down is called crop marks. And boom, right there, it put in crop marks. See those? Those are crop marks. Those are called Japanese crop marks. I like them better, and you can get to them under from old timey. Somebody taught me them once, and I use it for cutting stuff out. Use Japanese crop marks. It's right there under general. I like them. I think they look cool. The otherwise, you just get like the 2 dashes. Up to you 100%, whatever you do. I just always have mine set at that. All right. Center the box perfectly. Go to box, perfect, FX button, turn on crop marks. Lock the crop marks layer, and you are complete. Done. Now I want to make a layer, and it's going to be called title. Now I'm going to create a layer called images. Now I'm going to create a layer called paragraph. And then I'm going to create a layer called background. And then I'm going to put the margin at the very top and the crop marks underneath it or on top. It doesn't, those below, there you go. Now these are your working ones. Now I'm gonna put the background to the bottom, of course. You know, the background should be the list. And then now when you design, you know where to put your stuff. Then when you're designing, you're not losing your information. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some basics of designs. Create a title. If I did, like, I got some info. I'm gonna pull some tabs over, and I'm gonna give you some other tips along the way here. All right, So I like did earliest cave paintings. This is the overview, but this is according to Twinkle USA. Like I was like, I don't know who Twinkle is. I'm gonna look for something else. I like here, like the journey to the oldest cave paintings in the world, like that from the Smithsonian. That's a reliable source. Wikipedia is really not. I'd do this. So then, you click on that and you find some and you find some information and like maybe there's something good in here and you can pull directly from this if you want, like I want you to pull your information from a reliable source. The information should match what we're seeing too. So visuals. All right. And so that's where you start. Do a little research. Doesn't have to be a ton. I'm only looking for 100 words and use a program such as Google Docs to double check how many words it is, because I double check how many words it is. So I will check that. 100 words is 100 words. And then find some imagery that matches. If you pull from there, you can pull from here. But I want to show you a couple things. So first one, under tools, size, always go to large. Have it take away everything else, okay? So we always want large. Now, I'm going to do a background. And I had a background and it disappeared on me. Crud. There was a really cool dark background. Well, I'll do this. All right. So I'm going to go to this and I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to do save image as. And I have, look at that. I have I have a folder for this class and I have a folder for invention and writing. And then what I can do here is Dominic Trojan render big is I'm going to call it cave background. Why am I renaming it? So I know what the heck it is and I'm going to hit save. All right. So now I have my cave background and I'm going to choose another image because I want you to know a little bit more about the bleed. What happened to my early cave painting one? Oh, I want painting. There we go. And I'm gonna click on this. And I'm gonna right click on this and save link as. And I'm gonna call this one painting _01. Remind you, I'm not doing them all. Oh, what? All right, well, let's try this. No, let's do this one. It may have worked. Cave painting _02. See? I've never had that happen. That's kind of cool. Find what you can. They're like not licensable. This is schoolwork. It's all good to take. But again, make sure your images are big. I should have this set on large size. Like make sure they're big. We don't want like little pixelated pieces of crud. So now I'm going to go back to here. So I have my background and I'm going to go to File. I know this might be confusing because it's half the screen, but my things are up here. File, Place. And I'm going to go to Desktop. Here it is, 126. Invention of writing, cave background, and I'm going to Place. Now, when I do this, feel free to resize as needed. But to the bleed, not to the document. Giant cursor doesn't like the worker. All right, so let's keep going. Now I'm looking for height. Oh, I'm at the right height. Okay. So now I can place this wherever I want. And as you can see, I'm to the bleed. I have stuff that goes to the red marks on the outside. So my bleed safety zone is good. And then everything is within the margin. So no matter what, even if you're like, I want a yellow background, you still have to follow the same rules. The yellow background is you go all the way to the bleed and you pull your document all the way to the bleed. All right. You need to have that bleed. It's a requirement, part of the court, part of everything you do as a designer is you have bleed and you have a margin. Now I'm going to delete that because I don't like staring at that yellow. Now I'm going to place in, I'm going to go to my layers, I'm going to lock that. And then I have images and I'm going to place in an image. And I'm going to go to File, Place. And of course, you're going to have 5 different ones. I only did one right now. I'm going to go Place. And there we are. It's nice and big. I can make this smaller. I never want to go bigger. When it populates, always smaller, never bigger, okay? Don't make it bigger. It's going to get pixelated, look like crap. So I'm going to make it smaller. Always hold down Shift. I'll nail everybody because I can look at an image and be like, why is that stretched? You should always hold down Shift. You should be designing with 2 hands. Every image should be correct. And guess what? You have to give me your other file. So I'll see them. So always hold down Shift when we're resizing an image. Now, this is what I'm talking about, like margin. So here, I wouldn't have the image go past the margin. I'm going to go like right up to it and be like, that's perfect. It's on the edge of the margin. I can have some stuff. Now, say I don't care about like this part and I want to have a special design. I can bleed that off. But if I bleed it off, it's just not to here. I actually have to go all the way to the bleed mark. And then, so then what you do is you check your information. So if this image will get cut off here, there's enough to bleed past and there's enough information on it. So I can have this image, quote unquote, touch the edge, but there's enough image going past that it needs to go all the way to the bleed. I know, new stuff. This is new crazy stuff about how to set up documents. That's the way you do it. That's the way professionals do it. That's the way we handle that kind of information. Then you put in your title, you put in your 4 other images, you put in your paragraph, and do a fancy little design. Have some fun, make it look cavey. Like for me, that's it. Like mine. Make it look like cave, whatever you want to do. Have fun with the design. But make sure you follow the design rules. You can do whatever you want as long as you are following the design rules. So take that as you may. Now this is the other part. You're going to save your file wherever you want. You can. I don't know if you have cloud access. I save all my stuff to the cloud these days. You can save it on your computer. Just know where it is. I'm going to need that file. I'm going to look at your file. I'm going to look at your layers, how you have it set up, and make sure you're doing it correctly. So you're going to upload that. And then you're going to export this PDF 2 ways. You're going to do what we call a client preview and a print ready preview. And all it is making sure you have a couple items checked correctly. The client preview looks different than the print ready one. All right. So let's do the 2. First, I'll do the client preview. So I'm just going to go to File, Export, Export As, and I'm going to go to a PDF, Adobe PDF. All right. And then you're going to name it right. So mine would be JSKAJA underscore chapter 1 client. All right. And I'm going to hit export. Now you're going to get this. All right. So what I need you to do is make sure it's set to smallest file size. Make sure it's optimized for fast web view. View PDF after saving. You don't need to worry about preserving hyperlinks. And then you're going to go to marks and bleeds and make sure nothing is selected. And I'm going to hit export to PDF. And in 1 second, there it is. So this is what the client would see. And as you can see, I have full bleed on all around it. And this is how my image looked. And if I could see it, you'll see it in the next one. It will show the extension and crop marks. So that's one, all right? Now I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to go to File, Export, Export As, and this is for the print. And I'm going to call it J. Scott Chapter 1 Press. JSKAJA underscore. And yes, you will have to name things certain ways in the professional world. It's like, yeah, something happened. And I'm going to hit export. Now I'm going to change it. I'm going to do press quality. I'm going to make sure view PDF after saving is on. You can keep this preserve Illustrator, but on marks and bleeds, I want trim marks and I want use document bleed settings. All right. And then I'm going to hit export PDF. Now this one comes up like this. So this one shows the crop marks, right? It shows where the bleed, how much is bleeding off. And this is what the printer would get to be able to print your document. So when they cut it, it's got the proper bleed, it's got everything set. And those are the differences. So you're going to upload your working file, a low-res PDF preview, and that's what you send to the client. The client doesn't need to see all that other stuff. And then the print-ready PDF. All this, like my description is taking way longer than it'll take you to do it. But that's how we're going to do it, and that's how we check our work. Always check your PDFs. The PDF's a great way to look at it again without all the rigmarole in your design. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns along the way, just let me know. All right. Wednesday, I'll go over this because this one is done in InDesign. Same thing, a little bit different. Let's talk about assignment project A part 1. Now, I have chapters 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, all condensed for you here in this PDF. I want you to peruse, look through this, and more or less, like what's standing out, like what styles look cool. There's a lot to go, you know, like 100 and some pages, but you can like just kind of go through them and like, oh my God, I love that style. Like No More War, that's super rad. Like, let me go back up with that. Like, oh, I like this, or I really like this. You know, like pick a bunch that you like, kind of like note them to yourself, however you want to do it. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a series of 3 posters for a single client. The 3 posters are each going to be a representation of a period of time in graphic design history that you picked from the book. Pretty cool, eh? Like you're going to be emulating these designs. I love it. This is so much fun. And it's such a good learning process because like it's not like you have to like fully develop the idea yourself, but you are like, here's the style and I'm matching this style. All right. So research process. Choose design styles. Select 3 different graphic design styles from the chapters. The chapters are there for you. Write 50 words about each chosen style and include 3 historical visuals for each style. How do you do that? The internet. Look it up. Just find it on the internet. All right. Easy peasy. Select a client. You can pick whoever you want as your client. It's somewhat more fun to pick like local, somebody you use, somebody you know, not like somebody you know, but somebody you use, you know, like coffee shops are really popular. It can be anything you want, anything you want. And then I need 50 words on your client. Who are they? I don't know. You know, you guys know way more things than I do. You pick, you know, like some weird whatever, and I won't know anything about it. So the 50 words is to let me know what that is. You're going to create a multi-page presentation document in InDesign. 16 by 9 is the format. 16 wide by 9 tall. Why is that? That's the size of the average screen as of today's date. We have yet to go into theater mode with our screens. Generally, the standard is 16 by 9. Include all research and concepts, use grids, patterns, whatever you need, and refer to the examples guidance. Just walk through this for saving. Oh, and then go back. I have links to visuals. If you are like, wait, what with this? You know, like he wanted me to save it. How? If you click here, it'll open up and kind of like small size, general, bump, small size, marks and bleeds, and like making sure everything's turned off. So I do have some visuals there for you to help you along the way. Now for this styles and clients, student example. Let's look at it. Now, mind you, I updated the assignment a bit. It's okay. Historical poster series, part 1, clients and briefs by this person. The Daily Bird. The Daily Bird. They have, you know where you find this information? Like this is the coffee shop they chose. Go to the website for the place and go to their about section and just copy and paste it in. So they got some visuals, you know, and they got the write-up. So I know, okay, they're going to do that for this. Then this student, again, I've updated, has only 1, but I want 3. They took the Vienna Secession and a little paragraph about it, and they designed the page beautifully. Look at that. It even represents, like they're diving in. Then they went to the modern movement in America, designed it, got some information about it, got 2 examples. I want 3 from you, right? 3. And then they did a person, which is doable. It's in the book, Paul Rand. He's got a super style. Paul Rand, a couple examples, and they matched. So that's what you need to do. So I think the write-up, the assignment almost makes it seem like it's harder than it is, but it's like a 5-page, assignment. And then once this is done, then the next week we'll get into thumbnails, and the next week into roughs, and then we're going to go through the entire design process. So that is what I also want you to work on. Again, any questions, comments, concerns, anything, just reach out to me, please, 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 please. I'm here to help. I am. Send me messages, send me emails, send me texts. However, if you have questions, if you don't understand something, use the mid-session reviews. Mid-session reviews help you in 2 ways. 1, you're not waiting until the last minute to get your homework done. 2, I'm looking at it and telling you what to fix in order to get an A. And usually, it's like 3 things. I'll be like, oh, why don't you work on this? Why don't you work on this? Or I'll be like, if it's really bad, I'll be like, let's have a chat. Like maybe you're not understanding the design setup and stuff like that. Please, let's talk. I love to talk. Oh, and I will be informing you in Wednesday's class, in Wednesday's lecture of this week, or of the starting week, because I'm going to release this early, about open labs. I am setting up, and it should be set up shortly after the semester begins, the hottest design lab ever. Each student station is going to have 2 screens, multiple screens to use. It's going to have a drawing screen, a screen in which you can actually draw on, and it will draw into the program, plus a Wacom tablet, because you know what I find? I find using a pen stylus just for general use 100 times easier than using a mouse. I'm going to have 15 of these set up in a room. Anybody can come in and use them. As of now, what I know it'll be probably like 9:30 to 4 on Tuesdays and 9 to 4 on Thursdays. There might be some time on Wednesdays. These are the grandest, best design stations ever. If you don't want to design with leaning over, and I'll talk about this maybe on Wednesday, I'll write it down. Leaning over, using your laptop, scrunched over, trying to use a mouse, trying to look at a tiny screen, stop complaining, come on in, hang out with me, and talk to me, ask me design questions, and design on the system that I design on. It's the same setup I have at home. It's the same setup that every professional uses, and you have access to it. You will be like, holy cow, my life has changed. I got to drive in like 20 minutes, but it saves me 2 hours of work. And you'll be like, and we got the drawing pad. So if you guys have like, if you're in any sort of like Illustrator with a design, I got the stations set up. They're brand new. They've never been used. I set them up this summer and into the semester. So come on down. Let's use them. Ask about them. It's going to be awesome. All right. That should be it for today. Thank you for everything. Contact me, and I will talk to you on Wednesday. And I think I'm going to stop saying which day for the future. All right. Take care. Have a great one. I look forward to going over the next part of the assignments and some other things with you later this week. Take care. Bye-bye.